Here on the channel, uncovering mysteries and curiosities is always one of the audience's favorite themes, especially when it comes to fighting games like Street Fighter. So, I've put together a top 7 with secrets and curiosities about the origins of the characters from this iconic franchise. I did some deep research to bring you an interesting and detailed video. At the end of the last video, I mentioned that my health hadn't been great for some time, and those of you who watched until the end left messages of support. So, right at the start of this video, I want to say how grateful I am for each and every one of you who sent me well wishes. It really meant a lot. Now, let's jump straight into the video. Let's start by talking about what makes the protagonist of Street Fighter, the incredible and sharp-minded Japanese fighter Ryu, so fascinating. Without a doubt, he's one of my favorite characters. Interestingly, his creation was inspired by 2 figures, one real and one fictional. The real-life inspiration came from a legendary Korean karate master named Masutatsu Oyama. Though Masutatsu Oyama was Korean and Ryu is Japanese, Oyama, much like Ryu, was known for his solitary training in the mountains under icy waterfalls, dedicating himself with extreme discipline to uniting body and mind. He was also famous for fighting bulls barehanded and traveling across Japan to compete in tournaments, showcasing his incredible skills. Even the bonus stage in the first Street Fighter draws inspiration from Masutatsu Oyama. The parallels with Ryu are undeniable: his intense training, his participation in tournaments to challenge the mighty Sagat, and his global travels in search of ever-stronger opponents. The fictional inspiration came from a manga called Karate Baka Ichidai. In this story, there's a karate master who travels to Thailand to challenge the king of Muay Thai, the main villain of the tale. See the connection? This plot reflects the rivalry between Ryu and Sagat, the iconic Muay Thai master from Street Fighter. It's fascinating to see how Capcom combined these elements, Oyama's discipline and philosophy with the manga's narrative, creating such an iconic character. The saying, "Nothing is created, everything is copied," fits perfectly here, doesn't it? Even though we know where the inspirations for the character came from, there are still so many unanswered questions. But these mysteries are what make Ryu and his story all the more intriguing.
Master!
Those striking eyebrows and bleached blonde hair of Ken have nothing to do with Barbie's Ken, okay? In fact, Ryu's best friend and, at the same time, rival was inspired by the legendary martial artist Joe Louis. Joe Louis was one of the biggest inspirations for the creation of Ken in Street Fighter. He is widely recognized as one of the greatest karate practitioners of all time, as well as a kickboxing champion and an actor in 6 martial arts films, including
Jaguar Lives. And introducing Joe Louis as the Jaguar.
For 2 years, Louis trained under none other than Bruce Lee, honing his skills in karate, jeet kune do, and kickboxing.
A number of sports that we go into, such as football, judo, karate, kickboxing, what have you.
Bruce Lee even considered him for the role that ultimately went to Chuck Norris in Way of the Dragon.
We've got a badass over here.
Louis was a pioneer in the practical application of strikes in real fights and is regarded as the father of American kickboxing, the same nationality as Ken Masters. He earned numerous world titles and was even nicknamed the Muhammad Ali of kickboxing for his dominant and charismatic style in the ring. Interestingly, some believe Joe Louis also inspired the character Joe from the original Street Fighter. While I haven't found definitive proof of this, it's undeniable that Joe's appearance bears a strong resemblance to Louis. Coincidence? Do you like vodka? I don't, but the Russian Zangief might. The wrestler Viktor Xantemirovich Zangief was one of the inspirations for the creation of the character Zangief in Street Fighter. Viktor Xantemirovich Zangief became known in Japan in the late 1980s and quickly gained popularity among professional wrestling fans for his incredible agility and flexibility in the ring. Trained professionally in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Zangief also competed internationally in WCW and UWF, becoming a respected name in the wrestling world. The Zangief from Street Fighter blends elements of Russian wrestling with American professional wrestling, which mirrors Victor's style. He was also one of the first video game characters to popularize moves that require 360-degree joystick commands, like the famous spinning pile driver. Despite both being Russian and sharing similar names, just swapping the V for an F, I don't see many obvious similarities between them. Maybe I'm mistaken in trying to directly compare the inspirations. What do you think? I really believe that, in this case, Capcom took the idea of a Russian fighter as a starting point and created something much larger and more unique, with characteristics that go far beyond the initial inspiration. I couldn't leave out a female character from this list. After all, what would Street Fighter be without the amazing women of the franchise, with their incredible outfits, right? I'm talking about Juri Han, the first South Korean character to appear in the franchise, if I'm not mistaken. Introduced in Street Fighter 4, Juri is a sadistic taekwondo master who follows her own agenda and delights in the pain of her opponents. For fans of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, this description might sound familiar, and for good reason. Juri's visual design was directly inspired by Jolene Cujo, the protagonist of Stone Ocean. Jolene is one of the most iconic female characters in the shonen genre, which refers to manga and anime aimed at young male audiences. It's almost poetic that such a striking character from shonen inspired one of the most famous female figures in fighting games. The similarities are striking. The bold eyes, the layered hairstyle with two large buns on top of her head and a short length falling down her neck, along with the slightly bleached strands. Juri's outfit, featuring elements that resemble a spider, further strengthens the connection between the two. Jolene also has a rebellious personality and a vengeful spirit, though she isn't a villain, adding another layer of similarity to the Street Fighter character. Juri Han stands out not only for her unique aesthetic, but also for her complex personality, which has made her one of the most beloved and feared female characters in the world of fighting games. This pile of muscles, the Muay Thai king and owner of the iconic eye patch Sagat, had two inspirations for his creation. I confess that Sagat is one of my favorite antagonists in Street Fighter. Please, Capcom, bring Sagat in the next season before I pass on. One of the inspirations was the Muay Thai fighter named Sagat Pechiindi. He's a former Muay Thai fighter, kickboxer, boxer, coach, and Thai actor. Considered one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters of all time, Sagat Pechiindi directly inspired the creation of the Street Fighter character Sagat. A master of the art of Muay Thai, he was recognized as one of the best in the world, winning the Lumpini Stadium Championship twice and also the Rajadamnern Stadium title. Over the course of his career, he accumulated an impressive 266 official wins, 40 losses, and 11 draws. It's clear he wasn't messing around when it came to Muay Thai. Today, retired and 67 years old, his appearance has only become more similar to Street Fighter's Sagat. Although he doesn't have the famous chest scar caused by Ryu or wear an eye patch, the resemblance is undeniable. The Capcom team has never officially confirmed this inspiration, but to me, it's pretty obvious. Another inspiration for Sagat was Reiba, a character from the manga Karate Baka Ichidai, which I previously mentioned as one of the inspirations for Ryu. In the manga, Reiba wears an eye patch exactly like Sagat, and the character's design in Street Fighter 4, with a skin featuring tight pants, further enhances the similarities between the two. The connection is hard to ignore. Capcom managed to combine these real and fictional inspirations to create one of the most iconic antagonists in the world of fighting games. And let's be honest, Sagat also helped popularize Muay Thai in pop culture, just like other examples such as Joe Higashi from King of Fighters and even the movie Bloodsport, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. Coincidence? I think not. I couldn't leave out what, in my opinion, is the greatest and best villain in fighting games. Bison. Currently considered a top tier in Street Fighter 6, Bison is a selfish, power-obsessed antagonist with incredible strength.
Even though you two amuse me, I must conclude this game. I have engagements to keep and I can't be late.
One of the inspirations for his creation seems to come from the poster of the series Doomed Megalopolis. Just looking at the poster, we can immediately see the resemblance to the iconic villain Bison, as he's known in the West. Released in 1991 by Toei, Doomed Megalopolis is a dark historical fantasy series that combines Japanese history, folklore, and occult elements. I admit I haven't watched it yet, but just observing the character Yasunori Kato with his cape, dark expression, and intimidating posture makes it clear that Capcom drew inspiration from him when creating Bison. This resemblance doesn't seem to be a mere coincidence. Kato, an evil onmyoji, master of spiritual arts, possesses supernatural powers and an intimidating presence that directly resonate with the essence of Bison, the megalomaniacal leader of Shadaloo. And why not talk about Elena, who first appeared in Street Fighter III New Generation and has already been confirmed for Season 2 of Street Fighter VI. A capoeira fighter, she fights barefoot and wears an outfit that the crowd loves, consisting of a white bikini that exposes most of her body. This scene you can see in Street Fighter III still blows my mind to this day. But after all, who was Elena inspired by? There's a strong speculation that the character was based on Nadia, the protagonist of the anime Fushigi no Umi no Nadia, Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water, directed by Hideaki Anno and released between 1990 and 1991. Although Capcom has never officially confirmed this inspiration, the similarities are striking and hard to overlook. Both characters travel the world in their stories, and another thing they seem to have in common is their facial features and wearing hoop earrings. Nadia is a character of mysterious origins that hint at Africa, and Elena is a fighter from Kenya, whose story is deeply tied to her African roots and family. What do you think? Is it an exaggeration, and am I seeing things where there's nothing, or was Elena actually inspired by Nadia? Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you'd like a part 2 of this video, leave a comment and I'll make it. I also leave you with 2 other videos that the audience is really enjoying. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who watched the video until the end. And once again, an excellent 2025. God bless you all.